Welcome to Restaurant Influencers presented by Entrepreneur. My name is Sean Walchef, founder of Cali Barbecue Media. In life, in the restaurant business, and in the new creator economy, we learn through lessons and stories. Special shout out to Toast, our title sponsor of this show, for believing in the power of storytelling, the power of technology for hospitality professionals, for giving us the opportunity to share stories like this. Today, we are in Austin, Texas, so this is a road show. And I've got one of the barbecue legends, literally one of the legends in Texas barbecue, Austin, Texas. I've got Evan Leroy of Leroy Lewis. Evan, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
How's it going, Sean? Thanks for having me.
I am honored to be sitting next to you. New York Times, Texas top 50.
Yeah.
You guys have come so far. I've been following the journey. Part of this podcast is to talk about storytelling, but I like to start with our favorite random question, which is, where in the world is your favorite stadium, stage, or venue?
So my current favorite right now, I have probably been to it the most just because we got season tickets. It's Q2 Stadium right here, Austin FC. It is so much fun. The vibe of Austin and with this stadium, with the team, with the supporter section, it's great. It's great.
Awesome.
A couple of our staff have season tickets, and we go there all the time.
Q2 Stadium, we're going to talk to our friends at Toast. We're going to talk to Entrepreneur. We're going to talk to some other technology professionals, Restaurant 365. I'm looking at you, but we're going to figure out the brands that we want to be there. We are going to bring the best of the best, not just in the United States, but all over the globe, people that care about playing the game within the game. And I'm going to put you right in the middle of the pitch. I'm going to say, Evan Leroy.
Yeah.
Tell me, how'd you get here?
Into the middle of the pitch or into this?
The middle of the pitch. Into this.
How am I sitting right here?
How did you get here? Tell us the Leroy Lewis story.
Well, so I believe did we talk at the beginning of kind of like when we opened up Leroy Lewis?
You and
or was I at Friedman's?
I think you and I had a discussion. When did we talk on digital hospitality?
I feel like it was at Leroy Lewis.
It might have been. You were at Leroy Lewis, yeah.
Either way, I grew up in Austin. I went to culinary school after I finished college at Florida State, and then I moved to New York City, worked in some restaurants up there. That was my first barbecue place. My first barbecue job was at Hill Country Barbecue. I had a great time up there. I kind of started working there because I felt homesick from Texas, and eventually got tired of like the winters and like the pace of the city, moved back down here, started working at Friedman's, and I worked there for about 4 years. Built up an amazing team. We had a lot of really talented people there who now own places that are top 50. And then after a couple of years, it was time to do our own thing. Met up with some friends of friends who were in the industry who had some sort of complementary skill sets to mine. And then we opened a food truck. We wanted to open a brick and mortar right away, but it was hard to find the right space and everything within Austin. We thought we found a spot, then the pandemic hit. And after that, we got a lot of really good press. We just kind of kept growing, and we are about to open our first brick and mortar restaurant, hopefully at the end of this year.
It's amazing. I feel like you guys have had so much success, except you haven't even started.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't even. That's the coolest thing about doing content like this, new media content. It allows us to share the story and to be a blip, so that we can look back and remember we interviewed you at the JW Marriott Restaurant 365 event. We're here and we're having this conversation. You guys hadn't even opened your brick and mortar.
Yeah,
and then come. What do you think it's going to look like in 5 years? I mean, the crazy thing for us is people ask, how do you do the media business? How do you do content? And I say, we build our media just like we build our barbecue.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's low and slow.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
You can't force things in life.
Yeah. We've been, building our own content channels pretty low and slow through Paetreon, through YouTube. And hopefully in 5 years, those are sustaining themselves as a separate business and, doing its own income stream, much the way that you've laid out the path with what you're doing now. And hopefully the restaurant is chugging along, doing great. Hopefully we have a brewery open or starting to open by then too. So yeah, we have a lot of things we want to do. Nothing has ever come fast or quickly or easily, and we're prepared for that. But We just want to do things the right way.
Are you still doing content on Patreon?
Oh yeah, every week.
Oh, tell the audience about. I mean, I remember now. I remember specifically, out of all the people I've ever interviewed, I think you're the only hospitality professional that was doing something really cool and unique on Patreon.
Yeah, because that's how I think I sought you out in the beginning, or how our paths crossed, because nobody else was doing something like this other than you. And then I was like, this guy probably
asshole.
like knows, and he's a barbecue guy too, right? It's
Yeah.
not just in the hospitality industry, but it's barbecue.
Yeah.
So as soon as the pandemic started, I realized that nobody's going to come out to the truck. You know, we are going to lose a lot of money, and we need to bring whatever food that we are serving to people in their homes, not through a delivery service, but through like whatever they're going to be doing, which is sitting in front of a screen.
Yep.
And so we were already really good at taking photos and like easy video, like real type videos for Instagram and stuff, and saw our other friend Brad Robinson, who you should have on here, Chud's Barbecue, really huge on YouTube. He was also kind of getting into this at the same time, and so he started a YouTube. We started a Patreon. And his kind of grew while he was working with us. He separated eventually.
So now explain to everybody. So Patreon, we're talking about paid subscription
or
content.
Exactly.
Video content?
Video content. The idea was that we just film ourselves prepping once a week.
Awesome.
And do it dish by dish, make our way through the menu, and just kind of
essentially
teach people.
sharing the secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
but
if somebody wants to learn how to do the I want to get in the barbecue. I mean, how many people have told you?
A lot actually.
A food truck, or I want to get into the barbecue business.
Quite a few.
I'm sure more here in Texas than in California for us.
Yeah. We actually see the Patreon, the YouTube, and kind of our classes that we do as like an education / media, because that is like, it's really about building up community, and that's how we do it. We do the online community, and then they can't wait to come and visit Austin. Yep. And then also the people who do come to visit us at the classes engage on the Discord and on the Patreon and do that online. So it comes back around, and it really is like self-fulfilling, and we don't even have to do anything to it. They just like interact with each other and sharing recipes and secrets and tips and everything with each other. We have multiple people who have come to our classes and then have started channels and just saying on YouTube, just being like, hey, I did my first pop-up. These are all the mistakes I made. Because I made this video because nobody told me all these things before. Wow. So all that kind of stuff. And it's not just recipes on our Patreon. It is stuff like that. Like there's one where Sawyer, my business partner, is basically talking to camera. And she's like, okay, this is all the steps we have to go through to get inspected every year. And that stuff is, it may be boring for some, but it's like really helpful and insightful for other people. And
it's literally why we created this show.
Yeah.
It's those secrets, like a health inspection. Everyone else, the majority, 99% of the world would be, who the hell would give a shit about that? Yeah. We don't care about the 99% of the world. We care about the 1% of raving fans that go, thank you. Yeah. No one's made this content. No one's given me the path. You saved my ass by making this video. You enlightened me. You helped me raise money or not raise money, open a store, not open a store. These are all key things that are the guiding principles of why we make the content.
100%.
We were hoping that someone made the content for us. Right. And there were a few people. I mean, there's so many people that have paved the way for us for podcasting, for, all the content that we do on all the different platforms. But for us, it's more about audio, video, words, and images. Too many times people get bogged down by the platform. Oh, I hate TikTok, or I don't want to do YouTube. I don't have a big enough, video budget to do YouTube. And stop overthinking it.
Yeah, people really need to get over the fact that the first thing that they're going to do is going to be bad. Anything you do the first time.
You made bad barbecue when you first started?
Oh, of course. I made bad barbecue. I made bad videos. I made bad everything. When I did the first thing I ever do of anything is bad.
Yeah, so everybody is.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But the next one is a little bit better, and the next one after that's better. So, I mean, you go back and watch our old videos, right, on Patreon or YouTube now, and you can watch us make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. And that's part of it. And it's also rich for content, because you can just do another one of the same thing and be like, okay, well, here's what we updated. Yeah. And it's, it adds value, and it's interesting.
What do you think prevents people? So we talk about the reason why we make this show is we know that there's a creator economy, and what we believe in is the business creator economy. So creators, people that are really good at making B2C content, they can make a fantastic TikTok channel and have hundreds of thousands, millions of followers, but they don't own a business.
Yeah.
They're hoping that TikTok pays them. Same with YouTube, same with Instagram. There's business owners who are really good and they understand that people are on social media. They know that for their restaurant, they need to make content to get people to come in. But very rarely are they willing to do what you're doing, which is sharing the secrets, talking about the business behind barbecue, letting other people know essentially the game within the game.
Yeah.
So for you, when you think about this big opportunity that's out there, you said yourself, this YouTube channel that you guys have started, the Paetreon account, you're making an investment. And I'm sure there's been people that have come to you and said, why are you doing that? What's the ROI of, aren't you wasting your time doing a YouTube video when you hit top 5 of the Texas 50, Texas top 50, you're top 5, you have lines literally for days, and you're taking the time to take your smartphone out, walk, and give your thoughts. Why aren't you in line?
Because it makes us money. Very simply, it makes us money. Putting it out there, if I can cook a brisket and cut it up and serve 10 to 20 people with that, then that's in exchange for a good or a widget. It's a thing. It is a 1-for-1. And if you make a brisket and film it and it's beautiful and you cut it up and you put it online and you serve it to thousands of people, you're going to make money on that 2 times. And so every time we're testing a new recipe, we're selling it to the people and we're also selling it online. It just makes sense. It's also marketing and advertising for your business. That pays for you. You don't have to pay for marketing and advertising. You do it yourself. And then it also is another income stream. And it also grows your audience at the same time. It's just a complete no-brainer. The only thing holding other people back from it, I think, is just a little bit of fear of being on camera and stuff, of which, I don't know. I think with the generation, with everybody now just kind of on the phones all the time, I think that's going to be, I think we're going to see a lot more people doing it, is what I'm saying.
When you think about your restaurant space, how do you look at it from a content lens?
It has to be well lit. It has to be a lot of natural diffused light, which we are looking for, which we're working on in the new space. We have essentially a space, like a retail space in the new restaurant, that is going to have a to-go counter, but that to-go counter is going to be multifunction. It's basically where we're going to set up and do any kind of shooting or filming or anything that's talk to camera, intros, outros, that kind of stuff, different people on. There's also plenty of room and stuff, outside and outside by the pits, over in the back kitchen, over in the barbecue line. So, I'm just excited about all the prospects of this new place. There's going to be a bunch of new menu items that we need to shoot. Then also the entire process of opening it. So it's, every single thing that we do now is an opportunity for content. It's awesome.
Because you're documenting the journey too.
And people, also the staff gets really into it too. And it's also a recruiting tool. People see it from, wherever else, and they say, oh my God, I want to come work with you guys so bad. It looks like so much fun. And then they do. And they're awesome employees because they're already bought in. They already know the score. They already are into the food. And now they're it's like being in your favorite show, right?
That's exactly right. The way that we look at, our barbecue restaurant and media center is, the old way was an open kitchen where essentially there's a wall, and instead of having a wall, you can see into the kitchen. Well, now a true open kitchen in the new economy is on the internet.
Absolutely.
It's how do we share as much as possible of our process, of the things that we do? I posted probably our most popular TikTok video on our Cali Barbecue channel, has 1.3 million views, which isn't a lot for TikTok, but for us it was our first million plus views. And it's Bernice, our pit master, during the pandemic, just taking ribs out of foil, part of our process. Another video that I posted was her just loading on racks of ribs onto the smoker. Half of the video are people bitching and complaining that the smoker's nasty and dirty and needs to be cleaned. Obviously never run a barbecue restaurant before. But when I talk to restaurant owners and business owners about social media and about posting content, I can hear and I can see the fear of them posting that video. Like that video would prevent them because someone said your kitchen's dirty. Why aren't they using gloves? Why is there not having a hairnet? Like things like micro problems that they see in the video that they don't understand the context. But then that says, okay, well, I don't want, my kitchen not to be in the best light.
Yeah.
And the truth is,
everything is revealed on the internet. Like
right?
it's the best and worst place.
It's the best and the worst. It's reality. What happens on the internet happens in real life.
Yeah. Everybody's there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Even
the people that suck.
They're
definitely there.
And there's people that suck that come in real life to our restaurants.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Huge news. Toast, our primary technology partner at our barbecue restaurants in San Diego, and the primary technology partner of so many of the guests that we have on this show, have announced they are expanding their business offerings with Google. So now, if you search on Google Maps and you sign up for Toast Tables or Toast Waitlist, you will have the opportunity to improve the digital hospitality experience of the guest, allow them to book through the maps into the Toast reservation system. One of the biggest difficulties that restaurant guests have is when they search for your restaurant and they want a table, they do not have an easy solution to book a table or to get on a wait list. This is huge news for the restaurant industry, huge news for guests, and huge news for you, the restaurant owner. Check out Toast Tables today and find out the new integrated solution that they have. This is something that we've wanted for a long time. How do you integrate reservations, wait lists into your point of sale? Toast has done it. Check it out. So what do you do when you talk to people? You have so many friends that are business owners that have looked at what you guys are doing on YouTube and on Patreon. What kind of encouragement do you give them?
I tell the same thing to them that I would anybody else. The first ones are not going to do good. It's going to take a lot of very small incremental advancement. It does nothing if any of that stuff happens overnight.
Yeah.
So we have this guy working for us now who has a couple other barbecue places and a whiskey distillery who he's working for, and we all do a lot of work together too. Mm-hmm. So Brad used to do a bunch of content for us. Now he got too busy, and we hired this other guy who's awesome, and he also does stuff with Interstellar Barbecue, and they are doing an awesome job. I definitely encourage everybody to go check out their YouTube channel. Yeah,
okay,
because they're number 2 in Texas. And
wow.
We're number 5.
Sweet.
But they,
who's number 1?
Goldies.
Do they do content?
Kind of.
That's a no. Goldies, if you're watching, there's a whole playground. It's called the internet, and we should be posting on it.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing is that, for me, I've come here to conferences and I go to the National Restaurant Association show and I'm talking to brands that do hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, publicly traded companies, and they have marketing departments, yet they don't appreciate social media for what it is.
I feel like once you get so big, a lot of those people really try not to put everything out there the way that we're trying to.
Too many levels of approval.
Yes, exactly. It's too much red tape, too much kind of corporate stuff. And so this is what's nice about, our structure, our business right now is that we're small enough, but we're kind of semi-known enough to where it's really interesting for people to watch. But we're not, we don't have to deal with all this corporate stuff. I'm the owner of the business. We're one of the owners of the business. And I'm the one who's putting it all out there.
Yeah. That's awesome. Can you tell me about this list? This magical list.
Texas Monthly Barbecue list. So it's done every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
It's essentially like the Olympics or an election or something like that.
I didn't know it was every 4 years.
And it is.
And who puts it out?
It's put out by Texas Monthly, but
it's picked up by every other periodical.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
New
known.
New York Times picked it up.
Yeah, it's
or
known.
Did they run their own separate?
They ran their own thing, which was essentially what has happened in Texas barbecue since Aaron Franklin opened, because that was a big turning point. And there's just a lot of different people doing different stuff, and it's all really exciting, and it's kind of better than it's ever been, really. And that's the conclusion that everybody's really come to. But Daniel Vaughn, the barbecue editor at Texas Monthly, is
Yep.
the one who takes on the project. He's not the only one who tastes everything, but I think he has approval over the ultimate list. And it's a big deal. It launches people's careers. It solidifies places as being generational or legendary. It is and I put it this way to our team too. It's a historical document.
Yeah.
It is a periodical that will live, on the internet, but also probably like microfilm in libraries.
Yeah.
Like this is a chance to kind of make a really big impact and in like culture and food in Texas, which is really important to me because I like barbecue. And we got number 5 this past time. It came out in 2021. And, kind of leading up to it, we were really talking about it a lot. Our entire team was like putting together who they thought would be on, which spots on the, everybody's like thinking about it.
Did you think you'd make the list?
Constantly. I thought that we
Yeah,
had
for sure.
quality enough to make the list. And we also serve only some things on certain days.
Did you serve Daniel?
Yeah, we did.
So you knew when he was coming?
Kind of.
Ish.
So
you know who he is. So like when he comes,
I know who he is. We knew that he was kind of doing like the final judging because they would have to turn.
You don't
it
have
in
to submit
to
right?
go to
This
print.
is-
No. He just
knows.
goes
He
around
knows.
and and we knew that there were only like a couple different Saturdays he could come, and then because we only serve like this bacon rib and our like brisket, like the kind of things that he was going to come and taste.
Mhm.
It could only be on a Saturday, so it was like one of two. And we saw him getting out of the car, and then we just made the plate. It all looked great. We were really happy with it. And afterwards, I was just like, I just felt like kind of a weight off the shoulders because what we needed to do was done. But then there was another couple like weeks or at least a month of waiting and just like, oh God, what about this? What about that? God, what about this? But when it came out, it was.
How did you find out?
Well, the list leaked.
Digital? Oh, really?
The list leaked. So, a bunch of us were kind of texting and everybody found out.
You're not going to reveal who told you?
No, but you never know who, but you never know if it's exactly correct until
you see it.
Until it comes out. And so that morning, I think it was a Monday, it came out. Digitally, yeah.
Is there a print version as well?
Yes, there's a print version.
So it's like an actual magazine.
It's an actual magazine, but it came out digitally and it was done really well. Like I don't know how to describe it, but all the scroll like features and like it was just designed really, really well. Photos, yeah. It looked great. We were like our
links?
Tray was the lead
like
photo.
Links to your website?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they linked to our website. Oh, yeah.
Some good SEO.
Yeah,
juice.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. They didn't say anything about the Patreon or YouTube.
It's okay. That's what entrepreneurs for.
They also didn't say anything about, us like sourcing locally. As far as I know, we're the only barbecue restaurant on the top 50 or maybe possibly within Texas who just pays really close attention to sourcing. We only purchase animals from Texas that are raised in Texas.
Wow.
So very, very high attention to the quality, but that also was not mentioned. But we had, huge staff party. We were obviously super excited, and then we just prepped. And ever since we've had a long line and it's been great.
You said you've doubled sales. I mean, at least your
that doubled
YouTube
sales.
Your
and
YouTube
then,
videos.
Yeah. And then Somebody Feed Phil came out and that tripled sales.
Who did?
Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the biggest piece of press we've ever gotten.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that come out?
Actually, 1 year to the day after the Texas Monthly list
No
came
way.
out. Yeah.
That's insane.
It was wild.
So that was actually even more
Oh, yeah.
impactful.
Hugely impactful because people
Netflix
see
is global.
people see Texas Monthly as a state periodical.
Yeah.
If you're not in Texas.
Yeah.
If you don't understand the significance of it. But Netflix has however many 100 million
Hundreds
subscribers,
of millions of subscribers.
and they're seeing our burger as the main
oh, really?
picture for that episode and that season. It's pretty sweet.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. It's very impressive. So for you, when you think, one of the cool things for me is sitting here with you. You sent me an email earlier this year, basically like, hey, Sean, do you want to pitch South by South by Southwest about new media content and food and why it's important, why we're doing Patreon and why you're doing this, content with this podcast and the shows that you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course, of course I want to go pitch South by Southwest. So if somebody from South by Southwest happens to see this episode, why do you think we should have a panel or we should get something going for the things that we're working on?
Because I think there's an entire hidden industry here and an entire hidden economy here. There's a lot of content that I would just be down to just watch, to just view. Even the very simplest stuff that I watch on YouTube is just like a POV camera of somebody in service, and I will just watch that end on end on end. I will watch them make.
There's some TikToker, Subway Shop TikToker that literally just makes Subway sandwiches. Yeah, but like he has like tens of millions of followers.
Or
it's
like,
unbelievable.
Everybody here is or everybody who's listening to this is probably McDonald's once in their life. There's POV working the line at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like things online and you're just like, whoa, that's how they do that. Or it's just like, they really are cooking back there, huh?
No, but that's, you hit it.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. And I that's what I talk to all these brands, hospitality brands, from anybody that does, if you do grease traps, if you do fire suppression, there's somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
You don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. Exactly. You just need the right recruiting person where it's like, maybe somebody's really into fire suppression.
Yeah.
And making sure restaurants don't burn down.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, there's also, you employ people to come here and to shoot this stuff and to do audio and to edit and to produce and to write it all. So all of that could exist under a small, a shorter umbrella of just the food industry.
Correct.
Like
food media.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many, there's not so many, there's very few people that are doing it, but this is a growing economy. Mm-hmm. The world that we live in, understanding that storytelling in real life has built traditional brick and mortar businesses. But now we're at a point where people start to understand, well, every single person coming in here has a 4K camera in their pocket.
Exactly.
So not only is it the user generated content, but what can the business do? Mm-hmm. And the more that you learn how to do it, the better you get at it. And then you can start to find different revenue streams like Patreon, like YouTube, like everything else that you're doing.
Yeah. We're all just telling a story, right? With the food, it's the story of, where you learned how to cook it or why you're cooking it or what you want to do for your community. And there are so many other tools to tell those stories that are just not being taken advantage of.
So since this is going to be a historical piece, content piece on Entrepreneur, I want you to tell the audience what your thoughts are, your hopes are for the upcoming restaurant so that we can look back and go, oh my gosh, that's what you were thinking, and look at what happened.
Yeah. For the upcoming restaurant.
So restaurant one.
So hopefully.
From food truck to restaurant one.
Yeah. Hopefully we open before South by Southwest of 2024.
Okay.
That is really what I would like. I would like to be open in the first quarter of next year.
The first quarter of next year.
I would like to maintain focus on whole animal butchery. I would really like to, our entire goal is always to just been to get people to stop asking for brisket, just get something else, just ask for something else. We are trying to reveal other stuff that's every other cut on the animal is just as good.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to do them all. So I don't know. It's just brisket, bye.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. Because a restaurant that's for everybody is for nobody.
Yes.
You got to have your thing. You got to have your niche. You got to have, we want to be the place to where have a bunch of different things on the menu. That's the only place you can get them. And if you want the brisket and ribs and beans, potato salad and coleslaw and banana pudding, then there's a lot of other places you can get those.
Yeah.
But our place is the only one that you can get everything on our menu.
What kind of advice would you have to someone that's listening about partnerships in business?
I would say complementary skill sets are really important. I'm a chef. My wife does PR and outward facing communication. Our partners do business development / brewing and front of house, everything. Front of house, top of house. So we have a really good ownership team. Also, complete honesty, really giving your partners the benefit of the doubt, I've seen partnerships dissolve because of like greed and just like lack of communication. It's a relationship. So you have to put work into that relationship.
How does technology play a role in how you see rolling out the restaurant, getting barbecue to people?
Technology is going to be huge because we have been really limited and bottlenecked at the food truck for a long time. We're also,
Who do you use at the food truck for point of sale?
Toast now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. See that Toast?
We do.
Look at that.
And at
Are you
Mama
gonna use them in
Fried,
the
our other
restaurant?
food truck. Yes, we are. That's
Look at
why
that.
we made the switch.
See that?
Yeah.
I can't even write this. The
Yeah.
show writes itself.
We used to use another iPad-based POS system, but we just recently switched, and it's a lot more functional. We like it a lot better. We used to have to, call out the order, and then it's just like you got to make it real quick and remember. But now there's the nice screen, get the double tap. It's great.
Amazing, right?
It's great.
Kitchen display screen.
I know.
No tickets.
I know. It's not.
Dude, we were at an unnamed restaurant in an unnamed hotel, and we were sitting there waiting for our dinner, and the dinner did not come for 45 minutes. The restaurant wasn't full, and the server came up and goes, "I'm so sorry, the kitchen dropped your ticket." I'm like, "Ticket? You guys don't have a kitchen display screen?"
Yeah,
it's like, "No, we're on micros." I'm like, "That's why you guys
Yeah.
need to be
Oh
on
well.
Toast."
Oh well.
Oh well.
But yeah, so we have bottlenecked a lot recently, so we are going to have to use online ordering through Toast.
Yep.
Handheld ordering in the line for beer and appetizer stuff through Toast. And obviously we're going to have like a barbecue line and then a back kitchen, and stuff's going to have to make its way to the right places. So, trying to use technology to kind of disperse the food as fast as we can to all the different people, as opposed to just like bottlenecking everything.
Slow food fast.
Yeah. That, and I mean, we're going to keep going forward with everything online, everything with the Patreon and YouTube, and hopefully, starting other things with wherever that takes us.
That's awesome. What's the name of the other food truck?
Mama Fried.
Mama Fried. Are you going to keep that open?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the plan.
Yeah, absolutely. That one's a lot of fun because we take some of our extra barbacoa and chili and other stuff and kind of put it on fries. And they do smoked and fried wings. And it's more of like a festival brand. Like we had people asking us to do like a bunch of kind of big like ACL type festivals. And we're like, we're not going to do that much brisket ever in our lives. I don't ever want to do that.
Yeah.
But I will like fry a frozen corn dog. And just like make it efficient and make it good and like do chili fries and stuff. So that's what that's for.
That's awesome. So every single Wednesday, every single Friday on the social audio app Clubhouse, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, come up on stage, tell us about your restaurant. If you're a creator, if you're a food influencer, if you're in sales, marketing, technology, we have a growing group. It's a micro community of digital hospitality leaders, but we want you to join us. Every week, we also do a social shout out. This week's going to @BarbecueHunk. That's Stover, the producer of this show. Stover, we know how much work you do in Portland to support all of the media and storytelling and the Clubhouse calls, for getting me connected with Evan, and who we've kept in touch with digitally. That's the beautiful thing about storytelling is I feel like we've already met so many times, and I know your story, and I tell other people about your story. I told every single person here at the conference that I've got the barbecue legend himself coming in here, so get you to sign some autographs on the way out. But do you have a shout out, someone that you'd like to let them know they got a shout out on Entrepreneur? One person. I'm
going to shout out my friend Christopher McGee at Briskets here in Austin. You guys should, if you have any
at
time.
Briskets?
Yeah.
You got at Briskets handle?
Briskets 512. It's spelled like biscuits.
Okay.
At Briskets 512, because he does barbecue biscuit sandwiches.
Okay.
For breakfast. His sausage is amazing. We work together at Freeman's. We're a co-pit master at Freeman's. Everything at his food truck is incredible. Right now, it is our Heat Week, which is the week of the year where Leroy Lewis does 5 different spicy specials, one each day, and they get increasingly spicy. And if you make it through, you get like a gift card and stuff. But we're collaborating on one with him. Sweet. That's going to be like a spicy biscuit, pepper jelly, Christopher McGee Briskets in Austin.
Awesome. There you go. We'll put that link. And then how can people subscribe to Patreon? Tell us your YouTube channel. Or how can they follow you personally?
Yeah, follow me mostly on Instagram at Evan Leroy Barbecue and at Leroy and Lewis. Follow us on Patreon. Definitely subscribe. We have a couple different tiers. We have like an $8 tier that is just our once a week videos, brand new every week. We have a $30 tier, which allows you to come stage with us, to book a stage, to come and see our kitchen, to make your own plate, to come visit us and see actually in person how everything works. Then we also have a YouTube channel. We are about a year back on our Patreon videos. We're kind of cataloged all of them. 1 video a week on Patreon, 2 a week on YouTube until we catch
Separate
up.
content?
It's the same content, but once we catch up, we will have new content exclusive to YouTube.
Awesome.
We'll always keep Patreon 1 week, and then that will continue to premiere like a month late, essentially, lag time. And then once we catch up, this will be probably early next year, we'll start doing exclusive content for YouTube.
Very cool. Well, we appreciate you guys. As always, stay curious, get involved. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you want to reach out to me, it's at Sean P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef. That's on Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, LinkedIn, all the platforms. I'm weirdly available, but we care about you, your story, your restaurant, the media that you're creating. Evan, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Can't wait to do our South by Southwest
Yeah.
keynote together.
That's
and
right.
Can't wait to come and visit the new restaurant.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
The best way that you can help us with the show is to subscribe and write a review. We love the opportunity to connect with you no matter where you are on the globe, no matter what restaurant you are running. Please send us a DM on social at Sean P. Walchef. If you are interested in toast, if you want to improve your digital hospitality, please send me a DM. I will get you in touch with a local toast representative. We appreciate you listening to this show. The best way that you can help the show is share it with a friend, and we will catch you all next week, or we will see you on one of the digital playgrounds that we call social media.